This is a quick introduction to this assignment 11 on loops with the cookie program. So in this assignment you're supposed to download a program that orders Girl Scout cookies. It's just a starter program and just lets you order one box of Girl Scout cookies. So if you download that, you'll get this one method here. If you compile it and run it, it just says what cookies do you want to order, and then gives you three options. You can order one of them, and it says you ordered a box. I ordered Samoas at this point, and then your total bill is. So it just orders one box of cookies, and your job is to change this so that you can order multiple boxes of cookies. So you want to be able to say, do you want to order cookies, and then pick some, and then it'll should ask you again, do you want to order some more cookies, and then you should say yes or no, and then if you say yes, it should display the menu again. So if we look in this program, there's just one main method here. It initializes some variables. Here's where it displays the menu of what cookies there are to order, and then it reads in the cookie order into an order variable, which is an integer. And then depending on what you ordered on that, it says either 1, 2, or 3. It displays what kind of cookies you ordered and adds some to the bill. And then at the very end, it prints out the total bill. Now this section here is what you want to repeat. And you want to repeat this section in a while loop. So you want to start a loop up here and end the loop down here. And you also, before you end the loop, you want to ask the user for some input. Do you want to continue? Some places to look now in zyBooks, they have an example similar to this, though they use character input. So they have a user character, and they say, while it's not Q, they loop, and this is what they're doing in the loop, this part. But then they also added this part. Enter the character enter a character Q if you want to quit. Read in that next read in a string and convert that to a character. So that's one place to kind of look at how they loop, and they'll do this again and again until you enter Q. Another place to look is the chapter 6 sample files. We looked at one with an input statement here. We looked at two varieties of it. One, we just asked, do you want to continue 1 or 2, and then we read that in, and we said, so in this sort of thing you could put the code you want to repeat in here inside the loop. When you get done with the code you want to repeat each time, ask them, do you want to continue? Here we're reading that into a variable that's an integer, and then we're checking if answer is 1. And initially we set answer to 1. So there's a couple things you have to do with these sorts of loops. Usually you have to do some initialization to set up your variables the correct way. Then you have your loop with your Boolean condition. And then at the end of your loop, right before your final parentheses, you ask them, do you want to continue somehow, and read in their response. Now here's another example. In this example, we have a while loop, but rather than saying 1 to continue, 2 for 1 for yes or 2 for no, we actually read in a string. So we have a string variable. We read that in down here. So we set user's choice to yes, and we say while user choice dot equals yes. And remember, we have to use dot equals with strings, not like here we can just use answered equal is equivalent to 1. So here we say if user's choice dot equals yes. Then we have our loop in here, whatever we want to repeat, and then at the end we'd say, do you want to continue, yes or no? We'd read in their response into this user choice variable and loop back up. So again, you can look at these examples as ways to modify this program so that rather than just ordering one cookie, it orders one cookies and asks if you want to order more. And if so, you can order another one. And you can use a while loop now for this. There's also a loop called a do while, which you could use here, but we haven't really covered that in zyBooks this year. So I would just focus on the while loop. Okay, good luck.